Have you ever looked in the mirror and wondered, is this just how it is now? You still feel like you. The same man who once had fire in his blood, who moved with strength and purpose. But somewhere along the way, things started changing quietly at first. Maybe it began with feeling more tired than usual. Maybe you noticed your body not responding the way it used to. And in the bedroom, things got slower, or harder to start, or just didn't happen. No one talks about it. Men our age, we're expected to tough it out, to not complain, to just accept it as part of getting older. But let me ask you this. Why do some men keep that spark well into their 70s, even 80s? Why do some men stay strong, confident, and intimate, while others feel like they've faded in the background? Here's the truth that no one's told you. It's not just luck, and it's not about taking a little blue pill either. You see, there's a simple technique, a natural method used for generations in traditional healing that might just change everything for you. A technique you can use in just a minute or two, right before intimacy, to help reawaken your blood flow, your confidence, and your sense of power. No drugs, no surgery, no embarrassing side effects. Because this isn't just about performance. It's about connection. It's about feeling like yourself again. You deserve that. You still deserve to feel desirable, in control, and alive. So here's my promise to you. Stick with me through this video, and by the end, you'll know exactly how to activate this secret pressure point. One that might just help you restore not just your physical ability, but your sense of masculinity and pride. Now, I want you to do something for me. If you're ready to stop settling and start taking your health and vitality seriously again, drop a comment below that says, "Still got it," because you do. And if you want more real, honest, science-backed tips for thriving in your later years, hit that subscribe button right now. This is Elderly Care, and this video might be the start of a brand new chapter in your life. Let me tell you about John. John's 68. He used to be full of life, worked with his hands, had a strong grip, sharp mind, and a quiet confidence about him. But after retirement, things shifted, slowly at first, until one day, he admitted to a close friend that intimacy just wasn't the same anymore. He felt disconnected, frustrated, like something had been taken from him. That friend didn't laugh. He didn't judge. Instead, he handed John a small piece of paper and said, "Try this every night, just for a minute or two." What was on the paper wasn't a prescription. It wasn't a product. It was a simple technique used for centuries, meant to help reconnect the mind and the body. An acupressure method that focused on a point most people don't even know exists. Because here's the thing no one tells you. Most intimacy problems, they don't start in the bedroom. They start in the mind, in the nervous system, in the way our body holds tension, stress, and fear. As we age, stress builds, hormones shift, testosterone dips. And while that's normal, it doesn't mean you have to just accept the fallout. In traditional Eastern medicine, they talk about energy flow, qi. Now, whether or not you believe in energy in the spiritual sense, there's something undeniably powerful about the way your nervous system, blood flow, and hormones all connect. When your mind is tense, your muscles tighten, your blood vessels narrow, circulation slows, and before you know it, your body stops cooperating. That's why one of the most powerful points to stimulate isn't even near the area you might think. It's actually right on the sole of your foot, called kidney 1. It's located right in the center of the foot, toward the ball. When gently massaged before intimacy, it's believed to calm the nervous system, rebalance your energy, and subtly awaken your body's natural ability to respond. You're not forcing anything. You're not fixing anything. You're simply inviting your body to remember what it already knows. You see, most men make the mistake of thinking intimacy struggles are mechanical, that it's all about physical strength, or that something's broken in their body. But in reality, it often starts with a disconnection between the mind and the body. That's where the quiet power of this technique comes in. So the next time you prepare for intimacy, not just with your partner, but with yourself, with your body, take a moment. Sit down, breathe deeply, and with your thumb, press gently into that point on the sole of your foot. Make small circles. Focus on the sensation, not with force, but with intention. You might feel warmth, a tingling, or maybe nothing at first. That's okay. It's about more than the sensation. It's about slowing down and sending your body a different message. A message that says, I'm listening, I'm here, I'm ready. And when you start there, by calming your system, by reconnecting with yourself, you set the stage for everything else to work better. But calming the body is only one piece of the puzzle. Let's talk about what happens when we boost circulation, right where it matters most. Because that's where things start to really change. A retired acupuncturist once told me something that stopped me in my tracks. He said, if men over 60 just tapped this one spot every day, the little blue pill would be obsolete. Now, that's a bold claim, isn't it? But when someone with decades of hands-on healing experience says it with that kind of quiet certainty, you listen. He wasn't selling anything. No gimmicks. No secret herbs. Just one point. One place on your own body. It's called CV4, short for conception vessel 4. In Eastern medicine, it's considered the gate of origin. But forget the technical names for a moment. Here's what you need to know. It sits just below your belly button, about 3 finger widths down, right along the center line of your body. This point is where a surprising amount of male vitality is believed to rest. And when stimulated properly, through light tapping or gentle pressure, it's said to awaken pelvic circulation. Not force it, not override it. Awaken it from within. Now, some folks hear that and roll their eyes. Tapping a spot on my stomach is going to fix things? But what they don't realize is this. Modern science is starting to catch up to what traditional wisdom has known all along. Pelvic floor therapy, bioelectric feedback, neural stimulation. These are all ways Western medicine now helps men regain function by targeting specific areas tied to blood flow and nerve activity. CV4 may not show up on a hospital chart, but stimulating that area, it works through the same basic principle. Bringing energy, attention, and circulation back to where it's needed. Here's how you do it. Lie down or sit comfortably. Find that soft spot just below your navel. Use 2 fingers, index and middle. Press gently, not hard. You're not trying to bruise anything. Just enough pressure to feel contact. Now breathe in. As you exhale, make slow, small circles. Stay with it. 60 seconds, maybe 2 minutes. That's all. What you might feel is subtle, maybe a gentle warmth or a deep pull inward, like your body's waking up after a long nap. Don't ignore that feeling. That's your circulation responding. That's your nervous system saying, I remember this. Because this isn't about tricking your body. It's about reminding it what it's capable of. You've still got blood vessels, nerves, hormone receptors. All the machinery is still there. It just needs to be spoken to in the right language again. And this small point, this quiet place just below your navel, is one of the most direct ways to start that conversation. And the beauty of it, it's yours. You carry it with you. No prescription, no pharmacy visit. Just you, your breath, your touch, and a little intention. But even this, powerful as it is, isn't the whole story. There's another element that makes or breaks everything else. Something you do every moment of every day, often without a second thought. Let's talk about oxygen. Because when it comes to performance, circulation, and energy, it's not just where the blood is going. It's what's flowing in that blood that matters. George was 72 when he started to feel like his body had left him behind. Not all at once, but gradually over the course of a few months. He told me, it's like the lights were still on, but nobody was home. He had energy during the day, sort of. He ate well, slept okay. But when it came to intimacy, something wasn't connecting. He felt foggy, not just physically, but mentally, emotionally, unplugged. Now, George was the kind of man who avoided doctors unless something was bleeding. But one day, at his community center, he sat in on a gentle yoga class, mostly just a stretch. And the instructor, a soft-spoken woman with decades of experience, showed the group a simple breathing technique. Just a rhythm, nothing dramatic. And George, he stuck with it. Every morning, every evening. Within weeks, he wasn't just sleeping better. He felt clearer, more present. And when it came time to be intimate with his wife, something had shifted. There was flow again, not forced, natural. Because here's the thing. What most men don't realize is that erection quality is directly tied to oxygen. Your blood isn't just fluid, it's life. It carries oxygen to your muscles, to your brain, and yes, to the parts of your body involved in arousal. But when you breathe shallowly, just in the chest, short and quick, you're starving your system. You're running a marathon on a half-empty tank. And arousal? That's a full-body event. Your nervous system, your hormones, your blood vessels, all of them depend on how you breathe. Now I know what you're thinking. Breathing? Really? Yes, breathing. Because the body you live in is smarter than you think. It responds to breath before it responds to thought. When you breathe deeply, slowly, your body feels safe. Your vessels open. Your blood flows freely. And your performance, your presence, follows. There's one breathing pattern that's especially powerful. It's called 4-7-8 breathing. Here's how you do it. Breathe in through your nose for 4 seconds. Hold that breath for 7. Then exhale slowly through your mouth for 8 seconds. Do that 4 times. That's it. It's not just relaxing. It triggers your parasympathetic nervous system. That's the rest and restore mode. It allows blood to flow where it needs to. It boosts nitric oxide, which naturally opens up your blood vessels. And it's free, always with you. You don't need a gadget or a subscription. Just your lungs, your attention, and a moment of quiet. Try this before intimacy, not as a trick, not as a performance hack, but as a way of returning to yourself, of saying, I'm here, I'm alive, I'm ready. Because when your breath deepens, so does your awareness. And when your body feels safe, it starts to perform the way it was always meant to. You're already calming your nervous system. You're stimulating blood flow. But there's something else we have to look at, something most men completely overlook. Let's talk about the fuel your body needs to perform. Not just oxygen, but key nutrients that make all this possible. Because if your system doesn't have the right raw materials, even the best techniques can only go so far. Paul was one of those guys who did everything right. Ate clean, exercised a few times a week, got decent sleep. But still, his drive was low. His energy was flat. He felt like his tank was always on reserve. He told me once, it's like I'm showing up to the game with my laces untied and one eye closed. He'd even started taking a multivitamin, hoping that would give him a little edge. But nothing changed. It wasn't until he had a proper blood panel done that he realized what he was missing: zinc. And not just a little. He was severely deficient. And guess what else? Magnesium, the quiet workhorse of the body. Here's what most people never hear. As we age, our bodies don't absorb nutrients as well. And that's especially true for men over 60. You could be eating well, supplementing, even following a decent routine. But if you're not getting enough zinc and magnesium, you're putting your engine on the road without oil in the system. Zinc is essential for testosterone production. Not optional, not helpful, essential. Without it, your levels slowly drop. Your sex drive dips. Your recovery slows down. Your whole system starts running on low gear. And magnesium? It's not just for muscles and sleep. It supports nerve health, blood pressure regulation, and hormonal balance. It helps your cells communicate. And it works hand in hand with zinc to keep your inner systems running smoothly. But here's where it gets tricky. Not all supplements are created equal. Paul's multivitamin had zinc, sure, but the wrong kind. His body wasn't absorbing it. That's the part most people miss. If you're going to supplement, you need to use forms your body can actually use. Look for zinc picolinate or zinc citrate. These are more bioavailable, meaning they're easier for your body to absorb. Same goes for magnesium. Magnesium oxide is cheap and common, but it barely gets absorbed. You want magnesium glycinate or magnesium citrate. These actually reach your bloodstream, where they can do their job. Most men do well with around 30 milligrams of zinc per day, and somewhere between 300 to 400 milligrams of magnesium glycinate. Now, obviously, check with your doctor, especially if you're on medication or have health concerns. But if you're cleared, this small shift could quietly change everything over time. What I love about nutrients like these is that they don't push the body, they support it. They don't hijack your system. They give it the raw materials it needs to perform the way it was always meant to. So when you combine that with the breath work, the pressure points, the mental clarity, now you're building momentum. Now you're not just getting flashes of strength, you're sustaining it. But here's the part no one wants to hear. Even if you do everything right, there's one thing, one daily habit, that could still sabotage it all. Quietly, slowly, without warning. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about the one hidden erection killer most men don't realize they're doing until it's already doing damage. Mike was one of the disciplined ones. Woke up early, walked 3 miles every morning, cooked his own meals, took his supplements, did the breathing, even started working with a physical therapist for pelvic floor strength. But still, he felt stuck. No major improvement. No breakthrough. Just flat. He came to me one day, frustrated. "I'm doing everything right," he said. "Why isn't it working?" So I asked him gently, "Do you drink?" He paused. "Well, yeah," he said. "Just a glass of red with dinner. Sometimes two. Helps me unwind." And there it was. The hidden roadblock. You see, alcohol doesn't announce its damage like a crash. It creeps in, subtle, invisible, casual. Especially when you drink in small amounts, and it feels like it's helping you relax. But here's what's happening underneath the surface. Alcohol might calm your nerves in the short term, sure. But physiologically, it's doing the opposite of what your body needs for intimacy. It constricts blood vessels. It suppresses testosterone, and it interferes with nitric oxide production, the very chemical responsible for helping your blood vessels expand and fill the parts of your body that matter most. Even just 1 or 2 drinks a day, over time, can dull your edge. It lowers your energy, blunts your nerve response, and disrupts your hormonal balance in ways you don't notice until you've already adapted to the decline. It becomes your new normal, and you think, maybe this is just aging. But it's not. It's chemical sabotage in slow motion. Mike didn't believe me at first. He thought giving up that nightly wine was a silly overreaction. But I asked him to try something. 2 weeks. Just 2. No alcohol. See how your body responds. He agreed. Week 1, he was restless. Sleep was a little patchy. He missed the ritual. But by week 2, something shifted. He felt clearer. His energy in the morning was stronger. And quietly, something else started working again. Something he'd been waiting on for months. He came back and said, "Why didn't anyone tell me this sooner?" Because no one wants to. Alcohol is socially accepted, encouraged even, especially as a way to relax. But for aging men who want to restore performance, even occasional drinking can be the invisible wall between frustration and full function. So here's my invitation to you. Just try it. No judgment. No lectures. Just an experiment. Take 2 weeks off. Replace your evening drink with something calming. Herbal tea, magnesium, a quiet walk. Watch what happens. You might be surprised by how quickly your body remembers what it's capable of. Now that we've uncovered all 5 strategies, real tools, grounded in physiology, rooted in tradition, and backed by real experience, it's time we talk about what all this really means. Not just for your body, but for your spirit. Because this journey, it isn't just about performance. It's about identity and the kind of life you still want to live. I know this isn't easy to talk about. It's hard when your body doesn't do what it used to, especially when it touches something so deeply personal. Your masculinity, your confidence, your ability to connect. When it starts to feel like you've lost a part of yourself, that's not just physical. That hits something much deeper. And when that happens, a lot of men go quiet. They keep it to themselves. They carry it like a private grief. But I want you to hear me clearly now. You're not broken. You're not less of a man. You're not past your prime. You're just adjusting. Your body is changing. That's true. But it's not closing the door on you. It's offering a different path. A slower one. A wiser one. One that asks for more presence, more patience, more intention. This isn't about chasing what you had when you were 20. It's about stepping into what's possible now, with the wisdom, the heart, the clarity you've earned. Because what you lose in spontaneity, you gain in connection. What once came automatically now comes deliberately. And there's a quiet power in that. It's not about performance. It's about being fully here. With yourself, with your partner, with your body. So tonight, don't reach for a quick fix. Don't scroll for distractions. Just give yourself 5 quiet minutes. Find that pressure point below your navel. Or gently press into the sole of your foot. Breathe slow. Feel what's there. Don't try to make anything happen. Just be with yourself. You might be surprised by what wakes up. Because the strength you're looking for, the confidence, the presence, the power, it's still in you. It never left. It's just been waiting. Waiting for your attention. Waiting for your care. And yes, you are still capable. You're still worthy. You're still powerful. You don't need permission. You don't need perfection. You just need awareness and a willingness to show up for yourself again. That's how you reclaim it. Not just your performance, but your pride, your presence, your peace. And it starts now. So let's take a breath together and just look at what we've uncovered. We explored the power of a point you've probably never heard of, CV4, just below the navel. A place that, when tapped with care, can reawaken circulation and vitality in ways no pill ever could. We talked about breath, not as an afterthought, but as a foundation. The kind of breath that calms your nerves, opens your vessels, and reminds your body that it's safe to show up again. We touched on the vital role of zinc and magnesium, two nutrients that quietly govern your hormones, your nerve health, your energy, and how the right forms of each can make the difference between frustration and function. We brought to light one of the most overlooked factors of all, alcohol, not as a villain, but as a subtle saboteur, a nightly glass that can quietly close the very doors you're trying so hard to open. And through it all, we circled around one powerful truth. Small, natural rituals, done with intention, done consistently, can shift everything. Not overnight, not with fireworks, but with slow, quiet strength. Now I want to hear from you. Have you ever tried a natural method to support your health or your intimacy? What worked? What didn't? Drop your experience in the comments. I read them, and I care about what you've been through. You're not alone in this. And if this video spoke to you, if something in it made you pause, or think, or feel a bit more hopeful, subscribe to Elderly Care. This channel is here for you. For men who don't want to fade. For men who know aging isn't the end. It's the beginning of something deeper. We'll keep bringing you real-world solutions. Quiet tools with loud results. Ways to age not with fear, but with strength, intention, and dignity. Thank you for watching. And thank you for showing up for yourself today. That alone? That matters. Remember, growing older doesn't mean giving up your vitality. It means leaning into a new kind of power. A quieter one, but no less real. So stay curious, stay strong, and I'll see you in the next one.